The walls of deception have come crashing down. What they carefully constructed through whispers, manipulations, and calculated falsehoods now lies exposed for all to see. Public recognition of their deceit spreads like wildfire through social circles, professional networks, and community spaces. The shame they hoped to cast on you has boomeranged with devastating precision. They're dying of embarrassment. Everyone found out their despicable lies. What they thought would remain hidden has been dragged into the merciless light of collective awareness. Make no mistake about their methodology. Their attacks emerged exclusively from shadows when witnesses stood beyond earshot. Yet they proclaimed their fabricated version of you with megaphone intensity to anyone who would listen. This strategic contrast between private action and public narrative was deliberate, a masterclass in manipulation. But the universal clockwork turns with perfect precision. The cosmic timekeeper has struck the hour of revelation. People around you now perceive glaring contradictions in their narrative that defy logical explanation. Words once accepted without question now raise eyebrows. Their stories, placed side by side, reveal impossible contradictions. The veil doesn't merely slip, it tears open with violent force. Their maskwork, once considered flawless, now appears as cheap theatrical makeup, melting under the spotlight of scrutiny. Witness how they scramble to patch these holes, each desperate attempt further exposing the hollowness behind their facade. The cosmic law of reflection operates with mathematical precision. Every accusation they hurled toward you now stands revealed as self-portrait. The universe possesses a poetic sense of justice that no human court could replicate. Examine the specific qualities they most venomously attacked in you. Their obsessive focus on these aspects wasn't random. They targeted precisely what they feared within themselves. The traits they condemned most loudly in you are the very shadows they cannot face in their own mirror. Former believers now stand in the crossroads of doubt. People who once nodded along to their narratives about you now replay conversations with newly awakened suspicion. The seeds of discernment, once planted, grow with unstoppable momentum. The questions begin as whispers, then rise to declarations. Their supporters exchange glances loaded with unspoken recognition. Marvel at the symmetrical perfection of this collapse. The elaborate scheme they designed specifically for your downfall now serves as the exact blueprint for their own. Each trap they set for you now snaps on their own fingers. Each pit they dug now awaits their own misstep. They crafted their destruction with their own hands, through their own designs, according to their own timeline. They crafted a script for you with meticulous attention to detail. In their production, you would collapse under pressure. You would lash out with incoherent rage. You would publicly self-destruct in ways that would confirm every poisonous seed they had planted about your character. Yet you refused their script. You moved through this orchestrated chaos with a stillness that defied their expectations. This wasn't the response they had encountered from previous targets. This wasn't what their playbook prepared them for. Your intuitive guidance system activated at precisely the right moment. While they expected emotional hemorrhaging, you presented a sealed vessel. While they anticipated volcanic eruption, you offered mountain stillness. This confounded them at the most fundamental level. Their confusion transformed into desperation. Witness how they escalated to increasingly transparent tactics, each new attempt more obvious than the last, their subtlety abandoned in favor of brute force manipulation that even casual observers could detect. The protection surrounding you operates beyond ordinary sight, yet manifests in tangible outcomes. Crucial evidence remained preserved despite their systematic attempts to destroy all traces. Messages you never thought to save, Witnesses who appeared when you stood most vulnerable. Documentation that survived against impossible odds. Consider the precise timing of interventions that kept you from complete destruction. The phone call that interrupted at the exact second you might have fallen into their trap. The unexpected meeting cancellation that spared you from a carefully planned ambush. The sudden intuitive pull to change your routine on the exact day they waited to spring their trap. Certain individuals manifested in your life at statistically improbable moments. People with exactly the right expertise, connections, or perspective to verify your experience or provide critical support. Their arrival defies random distribution. Their presence carries the unmistakable signature of orchestrated protection. This shield doesn't announce itself with thunderous declaration. It operates with subtle precision, adjusting circumstances with such natural flow that its intervention remains nearly invisible. Yet when you step back to observe the pattern, the protection becomes undeniable. The statistical impossibility of these combined coincidences reveals the presence of forces operating on your behalf. Certain individuals recognized the truth about your situation without requiring evidence, explanation, or persuasion. Their eyes met yours with immediate knowing. This soul-level recognition bypasses intellectual processes. It operates on frequencies beyond ordinary communication. These connections carry the resonance of ancient familiarity. The ease between you defies your short acquaintance in this timeline. Words prove unnecessary. Understanding flows through channels deeper than language. These aren't merely new allies. They are soul companions revealing themselves at precisely the appointed hour. While fair-weather connections dissolved under pressure, these truth-seers stood unshakable beside you. No amount of social pressure, no whispered warnings, no threats of association could deter their clarity about who you are. Their certainty didn't waver because it wasn't built on fragile evidence. It emanates from soul recognition. This gathering of your authentic circle serves purposes beyond your current understanding. These connections activate dormant aspects of your being. Each authentic alliance strengthens the collective field that makes your next level work possible. The specific combination of energies now assembling around you creates the precise alchemical conditions necessary for your coming expansion. Remember the physical contraction that occurred in their presence, how your lungs ceased their full expansion, how your shoulders curved inward as if preparing for impact, how your voice modulated to avoid triggering their volatile reactions, how your words underwent extensive internal editing before reaching your lips. Now witness the physical transformation of liberation. Your breath now draws deeper into formerly constricted spaces. Your posture reclaims its natural alignment. Your voice rediscovers its authentic resonance without preemptive censorship. Your body releases the hypervigilance that once consumed your nervous system's resources. The creative force now surging through your being arrives with shocking intensity. Ideas, insights, and inspirations flood channels formerly dammed by their oppressive presence. This creative renaissance feels almost violent in its contrast to your previous state of constriction. This freedom simultaneously feels foreign and deeply familiar. The foreignness comes from how long you endured its absence. The familiarity emerges from its alignment with your essential nature. This isn't a new state. It's the restoration of your natural condition, the return to how your energy flows when not subjected to deliberate distortion. Chosen One, anyone can hear messages like these, but only the rarest among us answer the call. The weekly Chosen One's gatherings are back, now held on Zoom, and this is the moment your soul signed up for before you ever took your first breath. Every week a portal opens, but only the initiated will recognize it. When I confronted the archons beyond our reality, they made one thing clear. True chosen ones are rare. They laughed at the thought of us finding each other. Yet here you are, watching this message. The Obsidian Inner Order isn't for everyone claiming to be awakened. We're the real ones, those who've seen beyond the veil, felt the call and carry the unmistakable frequency. Share your story on our weekly group call. Discover if your experiences align with the authentic signs. The Archons fear nothing more than chosen ones recognizing each other. When we connect, our frequencies amplify and create a force they cannot stop. That's why we're going to be live streaming to the entire Astral Atom network to find every last one of us. Click the link in the description below now. It's time to stop wondering and confirm what you already suspect. Are you merely interested in awakening, or are you truly chosen? Prove it. Join us. The verification you seek awaits with the Obsidian Inner Order. Their carefully constructed facade now displays fractures visible to public scrutiny. What begins as hairline cracks quickly expands into structural failure. Their reputation, built on elaborate performance, cannot withstand this level of examination. Watch their desperate scramble to maintain alliances now slipping through their fingers. Observe the frantic damage control, the late-night messages to mutual connections, the sudden public displays of false virtue. Their networking approaches the intensity of panic as they sense their social foundation liquefying beneath them. The irony emerges with perfect clarity. Their desperate attempts to contain this collapse actually accelerate it. Each explanation raises 3 new questions. Each defense appears increasingly hollow. Each proclamation of innocence further highlights the patterns of guilt. Former allies now compare notes with increasing frequency. Conversations they never intended to connect now intertwine in damaging constellation. People previously isolated from one another now piece together fragments of their experience, forming a composite image that reveals the full extent of manipulation. This collective recognition cannot be undone. Their messages arrive with strategic timing. Apologies dripping with precisely calculated remorse, nostalgic references to selective positive memories, declarations of personal growth and change, recognition of past mistakes packaged in language designed to bypass your newly established boundaries. Your energetic discernment has evolved beyond their capacity to deceive. You now instantly recognize the hollow core beneath their performance of vulnerability. You detect the specific frequency of manipulation disguised as emotional authenticity. The vibration of their true intention reveals itself regardless of their carefully selected words. This boundary you've established isn't temporary. It's not a negotiating position designed to extract better behavior. This is permanent energetic surgery, the complete severing of cords that once drained your life force. This separation doesn't operate on the fuel of hatred or resentment. It functions through clear spiritual recognition of essential incompatibility. Your newfound clarity allows you to perceive their signature from considerable distance. Like developing an acute sense of smell for a specific toxin, you can now detect their energetic approach before any visible manifestation. This sensitivity isn't hypervigilance born of trauma. It's refined discernment born of wisdom. The specific nature of this ordeal wasn't random suffering. It was precisely calibrated catalyst designed to activate dormant aspects of your consciousness. The particular form of their attacks forced the development of exactly the strengths required for your next chapter. The veiled attacks on your character developed your unshakable self-knowledge. Their public undermining cultivated your indifference to external validation. Their gaslighting refined your trust in your own perception. Their isolation tactics strengthened your connection to inner guidance. there exists perfect correspondence between their methods and your resulting evolution. Your recognition of these dynamics now occurs with astonishing speed. Patterns that once confused you for months now register in your awareness within seconds of exposure. This isn't hypervigilance, it's evolved pattern recognition. You haven't developed paranoia, you've developed enhanced discernment. This transformation transcends mere survival. You haven't simply endured, you've undergone fundamental alchemical change. The lead of this experience has transformed into the gold of wisdom that cannot be acquired through theoretical learning. This wisdom now infuses every cell of your being. As the energetic interference clears from your field, synchronicities appear with increasing frequency. These aren't random coincidences, they're signs of your realignment with your natural state of flow. The universe responds to your purified frequency with corresponding events. Opportunities now emerging align perfectly with your authentic gifts. Doors open without strenuous effort. The right connections appear at the precise moment of need. This stream of positive development isn't accidental good fortune. It represents the restoration of your natural energetic inheritance flowing without obstruction. People now entering your sphere recognize your value without requiring explanation or proof. They respond to your authentic frequency rather than any performance designed to gain approval. These connections operate without the friction of misalignment. They flow with natural ease that confirms their rightness. When you speak about your experience, specific individuals respond with immediate recognition. Your words activate knowing in those walking similar paths. Your story contains vibrational codes that penetrate directly to the core understanding of those who need your message. The particular wisdom you've gained through this crucible couldn't have been acquired through gentler means. This knowledge wasn't available through books, teachers, or theoretical study. It required direct embodied experience of exactly what you endured. Now, this wisdom transmits through your voice to others who require its specific medicine. Your voice now carries healing frequencies that cut through confusion with laser precision. When you speak truth, it penetrates the elaborate defenses of denial. It bypasses intellectual barriers. It reaches the knowing place in others that recognizes truth regardless of their conscious resistance. Their selection of you as target wasn't random. Your light presented specific threat to their shadowed operation. Your authentic frequency created uncomfortable resonance with their performed identity. Your natural radiance made their darkness visible through sheer contrast. Your transparency highlighted their deception without any intentional action on your part. Simultaneously, this light created irresistible attraction. They sought to possess what they couldn't generate within themselves. They attempted to extract your essence to supplement their deficiency. When this proved impossible, destruction became their only remaining option. Despite their most determined efforts, your core essence remained inviolable. External circumstances shifted, relationships transformed, reputation weathered intentional damage. Yet the central light of your being remained untouched by their efforts. They could affect your external world, but couldn't reach the protected center of your existence. This radiance you carry cannot be permanently dimmed. Temporary obscuration occurs, yet the essential luminosity remains constant. Your presence catalyzes truth in every environment you enter. Without effortful action, your being accelerates the revelation of what requires illumination. This function operates automatically, beyond your conscious control, as natural expression of your fundamental nature. What appeared as personal attack now reveals itself as skirmish in larger cosmic conflict. The battle transcends individual personalities. You stood at intersection point, where light and shadow compete for dominance in the collective field. Your seemingly isolated experience connects to global awakening currently underway. The forces attempting to maintain control through deception face exposure on every front. Your personal victory contributes directly to collective liberation. The boundary you established, the truth you honored, the light you protected, all strengthen the greater field of awakening. The attacks intensified precisely because the stakes extended beyond personal interaction. Your refusal to submit threatened systems beyond your immediate awareness. Your maintained integrity created consequences rippling far beyond your visible horizon. The pressure increased in direct proportion to your strategic importance. You were chosen for this position precisely because your specific frequency serves necessary function in this cosmic recalibration. Your unique combination of sensitivity and strength, awareness and resilience, compassion and discernment made you ideally suited for this catalytic role. The entire sequence, from initial encounter through final liberation, operated according to precise divine timing. What appeared as random suffering now reveals itself as exquisitely orchestrated opportunity for quantum evolution. The exact duration, intensity, and nature of this experience served purposes beyond current understanding. Your soul agreed to this appointment before your conscious awareness could comprehend its purpose. The agreement wasn't made lightly or without recognition of the difficulty involved. Your highest self recognized the growth potential, the service opportunity, and the liberation available through this challenging passage. Every circumstance that brought you into contact with this energy served the ultimate purpose of activation. What seemed like unfortunate coincidence or bad luck represented perfect orchestration for maximum transformative impact. Nothing about this connection was accidental. Nothing about its timing was random. The wisdom distilled through this experience becomes your permanent legacy. Unlike material possessions, this treasure cannot be stolen, diminished, or destroyed. It remains accessible regardless of external circumstance. This hard-won knowing becomes foundation for everything you create moving forward. Future generations will benefit from the specific codes of truth you now embody. The exact combination of understanding synthesized through your experience creates medicine needed for collective healing. Your seemingly personal journey actually gathered essential ingredients for universal prescription. The specific strength you demonstrated creates new possibility template in the collective field. Your refusal to be diminished, despite systematic efforts to reduce your light, establishes pathway others can follow. The boundary you maintained against seemingly insurmountable pressure makes similar protection more accessible to those who come after you. Your victory transcends personal vindication. Beyond the satisfaction of individual justice lies your contribution to universal rebalancing. Your stand for truth despite isolation, your maintained integrity despite temptation to compromise, your preserved light despite orchestrated dimming, all strengthen the collective capacity for similar courage. Before their interference, your power existed in dormant potential. Their systematic attempts to disconnect you from this birthright paradoxically served as the exact mechanism for its full activation. The pressure they applied created the precise conditions necessary for your spiritual diamond to form from carbon circumstances. Their greatest miscalculation was believing your power could be diminished through external manipulation. They failed to comprehend that true power exists beyond the reach of outside influence. What they temporarily suppressed has now rebounded with multiplied force. The energy they attempted to contain now explodes outward with momentum they never anticipated. The universe operates through perfect economy. Nothing is wasted in the cosmic system. The energy directed against you doesn't simply dissipate, it transforms into fuel for your expansion. Their attempts to destroy you mathematically converted into the exact resources required for your quantum evolution. The greater their investment in your diminishment, the more substantial your resulting empowerment. Your experience now crystallizes into sacred transmission for others walking similar paths. When you speak your truth, your words carry vibrational medicine that penetrates beyond intellectual understanding. Those meant to receive this transmission recognize its signature instantly, regardless of their conscious preparedness. The specific sequence of your journey creates a unique healing code unavailable from any other source. The particular combination of challenges, revelations, and victories you experienced formed this code with mathematical precision. This isn't merely a story to be told, it's an energetic key that unlocks dormant awareness in those who encounter it. Your willingness to stand in authentic testimony creates ripple effects beyond current perception. Each time you honor your experience through truthful expression, you strengthen the collective field of courage. Your voice contributes directly to the dismantling of systems designed to keep similar truths suppressed. Your refusal to minimize or disguise what occurred breaks generational patterns of silence. This transmission doesn't require your constant conscious attention. Having integrated the experience, you now broadcast its frequencies automatically through your being. Your presence alone communicates essential codes to those in proximity. Your transformed energy field tells the story without words, reaching receptive souls beyond verbal communication. The energy previously consumed in this conflict now releases for creative purpose. Defensive postures maintained through necessity now dissolve, freeing your life force for generative application. The attention once required for basic protection now becomes available for expansive vision. Relationships entering your sphere now operate at entirely new frequency. The contrast between past connections and present possibilities becomes starkly evident. What once seemed acceptable now appears clearly as beneath basic standards. What once seemed impossible now manifests as your baseline expectation. Your capacity for discernment now operates with effortless precision. You perceive essential truth without laborious analysis. You recognize authentic frequency without second-guessing your initial reading. This refined perception serves as both protection and guidance system moving forward. The path ahead contains challenges of entirely different order. Having mastered this fundamental lesson in energetic sovereignty, you graduate to next-level growth opportunities. These new challenges will test different aspects of your being. They will require novel applications of your wisdom. They will reveal capacities currently beyond your awareness. The universe maintains perfect accounting of every moment you endured, every tear you shed, every doubt you faced, every isolation you experienced. Nothing escapes the cosmic ledger. The seeming invisibility of your suffering was temporary illusion. All was witnessed, recorded, and factored into the ultimate balancing of scales. The divine recognition of your journey manifests now through synchronistic compensation. Doors that seemed permanently barred swing open without effort. Resources arrive with suspicious timing. Allies appear bearing exactly what you require for next steps. These aren't random occurrences. They represent the universal acknowledgement of your completed initiation. Your sustained dignity through undignified treatment earned celestial respect that now translates into tangible support. The grace you maintained when none was extended to you created energetic credit now available for withdrawal. The higher path you chose when easier options presented themselves established your worthiness for expanded stewardship. Stand fully in the victory of this moment. Absorb completely the liberation you've earned. Integrate thoroughly the wisdom you've gathered. The light you protected against systematic dimming now becomes your beacon moving forward, illuminating not just your path, but the journey of countless others awakening to their own inextinguishable radiance.